watching them, man, you know Sky the lyrical magician attack, you know. And to them, I encourage all of my sports lovers them to go up on YouTube and like one page named Sports Frenzy, because them are going to provide you with the latest football, basketball, and track and field, etc. All of the news them. Right now, a World Cup time and a transfer time, and we need to know what going on. So go up on YouTube and like the page named Sports Frenzy.
Look at what I just got in the mail. My Sports Frenzy t-shirt. Thank you so much, Levon and Company, for sending me my absolutely gorgeous t-shirt. I'm loving it. Want to call on myself the Kings of Virtual Sports? I agree with that. Kings of Virtual Sports. I absolutely enjoy watching track and field with you guys. Just keep up the good work. Look at this. Look at this. Loving my t-shirt. Thank you so much.
Welcome, guys. Welcome once again, man, to another show. Another Sports Frenzy show, man. Another episode. Another track show. I mean, we can't have World Juniors going on, and Diamond League just happened yesterday, and we're not here to break it down for you guys. So, welcome once again to the show, man. Remember, as you join the chat, like up the stream, hit that subscription button. Let us keep it going. It's at 3,200 subs. Let's get it going, man. Get it up there. And guys, just remember, just look at that just now. Look at that beautiful merch, and it was modeled by one of our viewers. She's always in the comment section once it released the tracks, and that is Triple LC. Big up, man. Love the representation by you, man, and honestly, the merch look good on you, man. So love that. And as you can see, I'm now joined by a man who definitely need a camera stand, and it's on the way, man. It's on the way. But Kem's all gone, bro.
What's up, man? Good. A lot to talk about. Definitely big up yourself, Triple LC. You know, that is, somebody I met through this channel. Wonderful woman, man, I tell you, brother. And, I'm glad that, she took the time out. And I just asked for a picture. And, she gave me more than that, So clearly, she definitely enjoy, what we're doing, love the content. And, just decided to represent. So, Shelly-Ann, I'm still waiting for your picture/video, and then anybody else who win any other merch. We're giving away a merch tonight as well. So anybody else who win another merch, definitely for sure, want a video with you as well.
That is it, man. Fresh God, big up yourself as always, family. And Fresh God saying it, massive growth in the channel, 3.21K. Thanks for your support. Keep supporting Sports Frenzy. That is it, man. Fire, big up yourself as always. Anthony Grace, big up. But bro, a lot has happened since what? Friday, Saturday, and even earlier on today, in all sort of track and field, and even on the courts, because the Sunshine Girls have done well. So right now, let me see. I really want to start it off with World Under 20 doing it, because there has been a whole lot of interesting things, and none more so than the 4x1 team. Finally, they ran a very good 4x1 and they got the record of 42.59. And as a lot of people said, they need to use this team for the seniors. Button exchanges, you don't have nobody that carry ill feelings towards each other and anything of that sort. So they have chemistry and have all of that together. But man, let's talk about this 4x1 team and let's put it into context, because remember, this team was without the impressive, supreme talented Brianna Liston, and yet still they were able to run that fast. So let's delve into it.
So it's really funny because with the same team, with Liston, the time that they ran was 42.58, right? And without Brianna Liston, they ran 42.59, right? With Shericka Hill replacing Brianna Liston. So it's not too far off. Obviously, persons have gotten faster. Obviously, the track has a lot to do with it, the altitude and stuff. So probably if a Brianna Liston was there, who knows if them could have gone down 42 low. Right? I came on the show and I said, hey, I really want the same team to go and represent just because of what happened, right? You want to name among the history books. And, you were hearing some things that Liston coach don't want her to run because she was just coming from injury. What else? Yeah, don't want her to run because she's just coming from injury, and the 200 was too close to the 4x1 and all of that kind of stuff. But I think the girls went ahead and they executed the race perfectly. I want to talk about chemistry. I think the chemistry with this team, obviously you have three person from Edwin Allen, one person from Hydel. Right? The three persons have run together very often. And you see the only change that was a little bit shaky was with Shericka Hill and Tia Clean. You see, Tia had to look back a little bit and things. So, impressive time, impressive run. And, we love that, everybody got tested and the record is ratified. We really love that.
And what's the impressive thing about it? How I was coming here to talk about it. Serena Cole and that leg, bro, normally fly out from the block. But ever since I've been watching this Edwin Allen girls, especially from class 3 come right up, Tina Clayton on that back stretch was a monster. She always burn up that back stretch, and once again she did so on Friday. And I was in awe of her performance, man, because at the end of the day, she has run 10.95 PB and all those stuff. So looking at it from that standpoint and such, could it be a lesson to one in terms of here as to how to actually run a back stretch?
Oh, listen. Yeah, one of the viewers start message me early and say I can't say nothing bad about Elaine on this show, master. I'm not going to indulge in that. What I'll say is that what Tina did on the backstretch is really and truly what she always does. When she get that button on that backstretch, everything on that backstretch is normally dead, normally in pieces, right? Because again, I running that 10.95. I don't think anybody else on that backstretch is running any 10.95 in a flat 100 meters, right? And it just seemed that for Tina, again, she just know what she is. Again, very competitive, business as usual. Just go out, execute her, either a flat race or a relay. And I absolutely love. I don't want she run anywhere else other than the backstretch. Me personally, I don't want Serena Cole nowhere else other than the first leg. Tina nowhere else other than the backstretch. Tia nowhere else other than the anchor. So the third leg is always going to be the one.
Yes,
and then obviously once Brianna Liston is ready and fit, she's the only person for the third leg because she can run an excellent curve, right?
Yeah.
And that's extremely important.
Yeah, and here's Alex D saying that I think they had Carifta because she was a part of the team last year when they ran the previous record. Because this record that they broke was their record already, so that is part of the reason maybe. And I mean, Shericka is no slouch. 11.16 PB.
Yeah,
Crazy.
no slouch at all, right? And it's really funny how I think Tia is the only one who haven't dipped below 11.2. Right? She's the only person who haven't. But when she running that ankle leg, nobody catching her. She run that ankle leg, with a lot of passion, with a lot of drive, with a lot of energy. So again, replacing Liston with Shericka, I didn't think that they miss a beat.
Yes, Triple C saying that Friday evening session for under 20 was spectacular. Every single Jamaican athlete who made it to the finals medal. Yeah, man, we'll eventually get there, but we're just talking about the
Agreed.
And here's Fire Art saying that Tia is a super anchor too. Even with the look back, the pass wasn't that bad, and Tia motored after that. She was running like a scared cat.
What?
And here's Jupiter saying that the under 20 girls run faster than the women teams in the CWG in England. Well, yeah, they ran faster than the Jamaica team. They never ran faster than the Nigerian team. Because remember, the Nigerian team ran 42.12 or 42.10.
42.10.
Yeah, so I mean, that was a good time, man. And just hope that these girls can keep on improving and keeps on getting better because the future is bright with them, man. So again, people, remember, like the streamers are joining, man. Big up to the first timers, big up to the regulars as always. No, the 4 hurdles, because remember, I came on here and I said that I expected us to get between 4 or 5 gold medals on the day. But the 400-meter hurdles, man, Russian Clark, man, the rain never helped this case. And I mean, hats off to him because naturally most athletes would have gone down based on the slip that he had. But he did stay up on his foot. I mean, after hitting 2 hurdles, and he came third, got the bronze medal, even though I expected him to really got that gold medal. And look at the 2 persons that beat him. Both of them ran sub 49, and that is rather impressive at this age group. So what you have to say about that one?
So let me ask you, so did you really think that he would have won goal if he didn't hit those two hurdles?
Yeah. Why? Because he was leading up until that point, until he started clutter down there.
Okay, because I remember, you came here and I said, hey, I think Homeboy will get a bronze, but I don't know about gold. But I guess, and I really factored in the fact that it's hurdles, right? And, obviously I never factored the weather situation, but, just the fact that it was the hurdles and, any card can really play. And I think it's just whoever come, best on the day. But as you rightly said, I think he did well to, never go down and still maneuver to get a medal for Jamaica. I think if he dropped out of the medals, I think he'll be more disappointed than he was. I think it was a great run by him. Again, these are always things that we can build on, that we can work on as an athlete. We understand that these things happen, and listen, the greatest of greatest hurdlers have hit hurdles before, and some have gone down, some have stumbled. It's just a learning lesson, and just go back to the drawing board, and as he progress in his career and see if he can get better. But I think it was a good run by him.
Yes, Natasha saying that congrats to the girls. The performance was a bit underwhelming with the lackluster commenting. The commentator took away from the performance. I thought they were up and down right throughout the championships because sometimes even records were run. And it's like it wasn't until the co-commentator actually says it, the actual commentator realized that it's a record. So I think the commentators were up and down right through the championships. And yeah, I think that's one aspect that could have been better. Otherwise, from it overall being a spectacular scenery, because I actually love everything about it. The entrance to some of the performances and all of that. And even the stadium itself. I thought it was good, but yeah. Yes, Triple C saying that spectacular run from Russian. Fireheart saying that Russian smashed the hurdles, but thought he was gonna drop. So happy he stayed standing. Yeah. And Akil saying that I think so too, in regards to him winning. So yep.
Okay. I watched the replay. I never really watched the race live, so I watched the replay, and I just think it was just rather unfortunate, right? And again, if he had won that gold medal, Jamaica probably could have won the standings. And I just saw them till there was some time pass, again, live and we'll learn, and we just race from the mistakes.
Facts. Now we look at the girls 200 meter, and that Brenna Liston won in 22.65. Alana Reid got the bronze medal. And I said it to you, even though her form is not the best, she gets the job done, and she ended up getting a bronze medal. But I thought that probably if the rain had never fell at that point in time and when she actually ran, I think the time would have been faster. But I don't mind her just going out there just to get the medal. As you pointed out earlier, we don't want to see her pushing hard to go when it's sub 21 or low 22s or thereabouts. So that was a good performance from her. And what say you?
Definitely. A lot of persons were saying, oh, they want this and run fast, this and that, and I'm saying, listen, girl just coming back from injury. Clearly she's a class of the field. No reason to exert any more energy than you need to. Just go out there, execute your race, win the race, and then go about your business, right? The girl, I think Jameson came second. I think she was the second best in the field.
Correct.
I just think she was the second best, and obviously, or Alana Reid came third. I think the race went exactly how a lot of persons expected it to go. Some people were saying, "Oh, we wanted a faster time," but again, if you look at the conditions, it was raining. You look at the athlete that's running, just coming off an injury, so just wanted her to win, finish the race healthy, and just move on. Brenna Liston, we have a long career, going to be a lot of records that you're going to try off. But, this is just one that we just wanted the gold medal, and, that's what we got.
Correct. And with that being said, man, we have to give shout outs to these two fellas. And this is one that I spoke about even before champs. I said that this athlete is one of my favorite athletes, and I just love how he has actually taken on to this particular event. And I'm talking about triple jump and one Jaden Ibert. Like the kid, I think he's supremely gifted. And, man, when last have Jamaica produced a triple jumper jumping over 17 meters? This guy on his second attempt jumped. No, on his first attempt, as a matter of fact, jumped 17.27. and that
That
was
was his second attempt, man. The first attempt he jumped 1683.
was it the first? Because I know that
Second,
I know one of the two of them. I know that it was one of the two. So yeah, I
yeah, man.
stand corrected.
Second one, yeah. But listen, again, as I said, Mr. Hibbert, that's a vast production. Not KC, vast
Yeah, I was
production.
right. This was the first attempt.
First attempt him
Yeah,
jump 17. So where the 1680 something come
it was
from?
his second. It was his second jump that he jumped at.
The sec the
Yeah,
second one.
the first one he jumped over 17, and then the second one was 1683.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, even at champs, I said it to a lot of people that I expected him to really go crazy, you know. Well, condition never really allowed him to because I think he was carrying out a nigga also, but right here he went crazy, man, and he himself was surprised because as I said, I know that this guy has it in him, and when we look at world standards, um, the guy from Portugal, Pablo Pichardo, right now, he's jumping was 17 nines thereabouts, and this guy's let's not forget this youth is 17 years old. It's not a case as if he has reached 18 as yet. He's still 17, so this is crazy at this point in time. So yeah, let's continue.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what is important, as what's important to every other athlete, is how you're managed, right? Who you go under, and you know how you progress, right? When you have when you have talents like these, they have to go to the right person. They have to go to the right person. They have to go to the right coach. You have to continue to be motivated and continue to want to do great things. Listen, I know you guys hear me mention Vast Prep a lot, and I'm not just mentioning it just because I think, obviously there's a lot of great primary and prep schools out there, but I think just having that foundation from Vast Prep is really really big, and then moving on to Kingston College where there's a particular culture, the competitive culture, the winning culture, to always excel, right? So, and I think going to KC, I think that also helped him, right? So now
He's now
moving
off
on,
to the University of Arkansas, by the way.
yeah, he's going to University of Arkansas, yeah, and I
I
think
think he's going to the Razorbacks, they said, instead of the
yeah,
Gold.
who's the coach there at Arkansas,
I'm not sure. I'll have to check it.
Yeah, so again, going there, I don't know how the jumps competition go in the NCAA, if them jump a lot or whatever the case may be, but I think talents like these have to be managed well, have to be managed properly, have to be treated very delicately, train hard, but coach tough as well, but treated with some form of delicacy because to have a Jamaican, as you say, in the triple jumper, you 17 years old jumping 17 is not something to laugh at. It's not something to scoff at. It's actually something absolutely sensational.
World
And
class.
and you can see how he was overcoming emotions. When him see him jump there, it's probably something a dream where him have, and coach probably tell him say, "Yo, you can do it," and him probably say, "Boy, coach, me don't know." And then when him finally do it, the emotions just take over. And again, I've always said it. These are the moments what we live for when we do sports. These are what we want to see. So again, congrats to the young man, and we wish him all the best. Hopefully we can see him on the circuit soon.
This is how impressive it actually was because the meters that he jumped, it would have won him gold medal at Commonwealth Games. Just
Yeah,
imagine that.
yeah.
That's the extent of the performance, man. And we have to give the youth his flowers, man. Really think he's that good, and just hope he keeps on improving and getting better and better. And shock to some and not to some, but on the night also, Jamaica mined another gold medal from Brandon Pottinger. Pottinger, yeah. He wasn't the favorite in the high jump, but this guy has been going crazy as well, and he did so once again. And what was his winning jump? 2.15 meters, I think.
2.14, I think. A triple LC actually tell me about it because
2.14, yeah.
I wasn't even watching the high jump, but I guess based on what she said, they were jumping and nobody couldn't clear the height. I think it started rain and then they get
Yes.
cold up. Nobody could clear it. Even
Then they came
even
back
the
up.
favorite couldn't clear it at all. And then Umberman just clear it, and then when he clear it, he couldn't go up more. That was it
No,
for him.
man.
So, yeah, I was watching it. That is
And
that's
guess
the
what? And guess what?
commentary.
The KC people can smile again because he's the son of a former KC standout, Marlon Pottinger.
Casey getting maximum points, man. But yeah, so listen again. That's why
He never grew up out here though, man. He grew up in the States.
I grew up in the States. But that's why when Coach Q is here, and Coach Q always tell you, listen, if the winner was on paper, we wouldn't have no reason to compete, right? So you have to come and you have to compete and you have to get the job done. So again, congrats to the young man. Boy, I'm not like I love hear the national anthem. The amount of time I heard the national anthem, I was like, yes, that is it. But congrats to the young man for sure.
Which one? The anthem of USA or Jamaica?
Jamaica, boss. How to the brother?
But the one that I really want to talk about, and I'm glad that we're getting right there. Seeing the 4x4s, really wanted to get there because from the other day, the producer and I'm saying from the other producer and a lot of people have been having the argument about the 4x4s and said that Jamaica doesn't know the art of running this event because the setup has generally been poor based on how they set up the legs and all of those stuff. So, all right, first off the bat, you're a coach. How do you go about setting up your 4x4 team?
All right. So again, I'm trying to gauge it against my competition. So I'm looking at the stronger teams there. So I'm looking at the stronger teams and I'm saying, okay, the stronger teams are USA are the main. You have a USA, you have a South Africa, you have a Canada, right? I think those were the teams that I heard about in the under 20, right? So I'm looking at that. So in the flat 400, we had two finalists. The guy named U20 and the other guy, I think Kennedy, got disqualified, right? Those are my two finalists. So I know, okay, out of the eight persons, I have two of them, right? I have at least two of them. So 6 persons, quote unquote, faster, at least. So then I'm like, all right, how am I going to set up my relay? First of all, I know I need a great start. So again, I'm going to put somebody out there. This is not a 4x1 where you can just shut out of the block. So I know I need a strong person to do that 400. So for me personally, I am starting that. And I'm looking at the same 4 because we can talk about Clark should be in there. I heard that his coach saying he's not running a 4x4, right? That's his personal coach saying he's not running a 4x4, so I'm not even going to put him in there. But when I'm looking at the setup, are the same 4 guys. That Palmer dude can't start it for me. He just can't start it for me because I know that he's going to put us in a deficit and we're going to have to dig ourselves out that hole. So him can't start for me. So I'm going to start with the guy.
It's a Demish gay like.
Yeah. So I'm going to start. So I'm going to start with the guy who. I know. This guy came 7th in the flat 4. So more than likely, this guy can get me off to the start that I need to. Right? Okay. When I do that now, I have to try because what I'm trying to do, as a relay, as a 4x4, you have to try to hide your slowest runner. You try to hide the slowest runner. So obviously, based on what we saw, Palmer is the slowest runner. So Palmer the person where you have to hide. So me hiding Palmer, I have to put Palmer on the 3rd leg, right? Palmer have to go up on the 3rd leg because again, I think we'll have enough of a lead or enough of a stretch where when them catch him up, then the Kennedy dude or whoever anchored can get for bring it home. So for me, I'm putting that Utah guy for start it. I'm putting freaking, I'm named the first second, the Kennedy guy for run the 2nd leg. I'm putting Palmer for 3rd, and then the guy when he run the 3rd leg, I'm putting him for anchor. And I'm living with my results right. So I'm living with the results. Whatever happened in that time happened. But that is where I am going with it.
All right, and I see Akil in the comment section saying that this is how he'd actually set it up. So he's saying that he wants a great start at once. So he's going with his fastest quarter miler. The 2nd leg. Hold on. No. He's going to start with this greatest. Second leg is going with his fastest. 2nd leg is going with his fastest. 3rd leg is going with his weakest, in which we all agree. Third, that is where you hide the slow man. Hide him on the 3rd leg. And he's saying for the hunker, he'll go with his 2nd fastest. I'll probably reverse the order in terms of I put the fastest on the hunker and I'll start with the 2nd fastest.
Yeah, so I'm starting. So I'm starting with my 2nd fastest. and I'm probably that Kennedy do. I'm putting him on the second leg, right? And
Also, you're building up a momentum into the
yes, I'm
final.
building. I have to make the others, because if you look at it, I think the USA guy who
McIlroy, he came second in the
yeah,
fourth. He started.
yeah, he started it, right? And then by the time USA reach the third leg, they are so far ahead, everybody else is playing catch up, right? So that is exactly what I would do. So I'll put Kennedy, because obviously Kennedy is fresh and all of them kind of something. So when Utah now give me a good lead, then Kennedy now bring it
Extend it.
around, extend it, and then the third leg and the anchor leg, do them thing. If them get catch that way, then so be it. But I can't start with Palmer and then we have the uphill battle for fight. You can't do that. But again, Jamaica, the way I see Jamaica set up in 4x4, they always believe that the quote unquote slowest runner must start it. For some reason, that is what they believe in majority.
You know that this recently concluded World Championships was the first actually I said them do anything that you could say, yeah, makes sense. When they started with Bloomfield in the finals.
But he was the slowest though.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is that remember that they started with Demish Gay, and over the years they started with man way slower than him. But what I'm putting across is that even though he was the slowest in terms of the legs, he has been quite, I would say, quick this year in terms of he has gone what. He has been one of the better quarter milers. That is what I'm trying to get across. Versus a Demish Gay that is running 46.2s, 46.5s on a consistent basis. So I think that is the only thing that they did well in this event.
I think so. So I think so. The way they set it up, it was what Bloomfield to Nathan Allen to who on the third leg again? I don't remember.
Getting right now.
And then Taylor to anchor, right? So again, it worked. It worked for them. It worked for them that time. But I can't start with my slowest leg, especially when it's marginal. I've always said, okay, if I know I am way better than you, if I know I have the fastest 4x4 team and I have one weak leg and I'm way better than you, say for example for the men, if I know I have a lot of sub 44 guys and I have one guy who is 44.7, but I have a lot of sub 44, okay, I'll start with the slow guy because I know the 3 legs alone will come around and get it up. All right. But again, if I know I have a lot of marginal guys and one fast guy or 1.5 fast guys, you know what I'm saying? You have to set it up a little bit different. You have to use a little gamesmanship in order to get it done. And again, I said it. In the 4x1 at the World Champs, that is what I think the USA did to Jamaica. They use a little gamesmanship, work out some things, and they're able to get the W that way. So I think, big run for Kennedy. I'm not going to take anything away from him. That young man, he ran with a lot of heart, a lot of fight, a lot of grit.
True.
Him fight it out.
It would have been what about 5th or 6th?
Yeah. And him, and him go around. Obviously,
man,
couldn't
catch the guy from Shelly-Ann, brother. You see him?
Yeah. Him couldn't catch the guy from USA at all.
Man, too much of a gap. But I'm just going to go into the next event, and that is the girls. And I mean, they were just as much poor as the boys were. So key thing that we should point out, and it's something that we just discussed. So when you look at the US team, right? Shanti Jackson ran the second leg. And if we know Shanti Jackson, she's actually a sprinter. She ran in the 100 meter. And I think she was one of them who was tied for third. So she got a points in the 100. This was whom they brought on the 400 meter. And I mean, she has the strength for it because you know that her father, Bershan Jackson, now does that event. So she has the strength of that and she can now do it. But even when you look at their final leg was run by a 800 meter runner. And the US over the years, this is what they generally do. They always bring on, quote unquote, a fast person on that second leg, and they always, except for World Championships, they ended with a 800 meter runner. Mo did it at Olympics. Now you realize that they flipped it a bit and Sydney ran the anchor this time around. But this is a module that a lot of teams should probably take on. If they have quality, try to set up a team like this.
And this is my thing. So, and I guess you can say Jamaica tried to do it at the Commonwealth because if I'm not mistaken, for that 4x4, I think Natalia Gould anchored that 4x4 at the Commonwealth. So I guess Jamaica is trying to take that formula. But for the women, Listen, they just was the second best team, I think. Yeah, they just weren't as good as the United States this time around. It would have been very interesting to see if Brenna Liston had run, to see how we would have match up, to see where we would be with Brenna Liston on that final leg, to see how everything would have, come into play, but it wasn't so. Listen, I think there's one country, and people might say it's not so, but this is just what I see. I see one country that is obsessed with winning and another country that's okay with competing. That's what I see, right? The United States will go at all stops to win. They'll do whatever it takes to win. So if you make the flat four team and you're not good enough for the 4x4, they'll kick you out and put somebody good.
And that's exactly where I was going to go bro, because over the years, and if you realize with Jamaica, it seems like they're hell-bent on the fact that, whosoever running the 400 meter, these are who's supposed to run the 4x4. Because remember that otherwise, so still my brother, but we can track back to Danny McFarlane, saying so the 4 hurdles, and then, saying I'm run 4x4. And then up until recent history, Johnny Russell.
Yep.
Would they have really ever thought about outside the box to run on 4x4?
Exactly. And listen, and again, I think with Jamaica, like, we care about too much people's feelings. Oh, that is why we have a trial. Like, listen, and again, that's all the right things to say. But again, when I want to win, I'm looking for the best, and it doesn't matter whichever relay, whether it be 4x1, 4x4, 4x2, whatever it is. I want my best 4 people. So who are the best 4 I have in the camp? That is who I want to go there and compete. Not, because you can win at trials 4 weeks ago, and you come now and you wet the bed. Now I'm looking at that girl again from the USA. I think her name is Kendra Ellis. She dropped out in the heat. She not even run the 4x4 heats.
Correct.
Them run her away and say, you can leave and go ahead, because they want to win. They're about winning. They're hungry for the win. Jamaica is hungry to please people. Hungry to Kemba Nelson came second at the trial. We have to put her in somewhere. No, I don't want that. Right? I don't want that. So again, we just have to be more ruthless and put our best 4 out there. When it's the finals, if we have to change out the whole team, we change it out. Put our best 4 out there that give us the best chance of winning, the best opportunity to win. When I look at that 4x4 team, I mean, probably they never have anybody else, but that wasn't the best team. Commonwealth, and I know we're probably going to talk about that a little bit later, but even in the Commonwealth, we just need to put out our best representation that gives us the best chance to win. Not because it gives us the best chance to win, mean we are going to win. But when I look at the team, I suppose I can say, this team have a chance. This team have a chance. This team have a chance. But, sometimes I just don't see that.
All right, and I think I see a comment up here from Alex Diaz that just mentioned about Commonwealth, so let me bring it up. All right, so here's he saying that Jamaica tried to do it at the Commonwealth, and I'm happy that he said the last part, but I honestly think that's because no one else was there or wanted to do it. And yeah, that's correct, because I was watching the 4x4 earlier today and I saw that wasn't it goal on the ankle leg? Yeah, goal was on the ankle leg 4x4. I was like, honestly, it was because no one else was there. Because if Stephanie and McPherson was there, she wouldn't have run. Candice McDowell shouldn't have run, because I remember that they ran in the Diamond League yesterday. So had these people been there, they wouldn't have done it. So yeah, probably trying some, but hey, they're realizing certain things too late, man. And here's Fire saying that I would have used Anjanette Knight in the mixed relays at Worlds. She had no individual event at Worlds because she fell, but she was on the team. I think that would have been great.
Exactly. Yeah.
Try something different.
Exactly. Try something different. Like this is the thing. I don't like the same generic, boring foolishness. Let me see that your brain is working. Let me see that you're thinking. Let me see that things are processing. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So we run this. Okay. Probably insert this person here. Listen, Levon, and everything I go work. Some things not go work, but at least let me see the effort. Let me see you try. All right. Just let me see you try again at Commonwealth again. And when we reach this, we talk about it, because I see Kemba Nelson again on the first leg again, and boy, oh boy, oh boy, boy, oh boy, oh boy, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yes, Anthony saying that I was saying this though, Levon, when I was on the show. Yeah, man, I think you said it. Here's Alex D asking a question saying that why the Mishke was at the Worlds. person who wasn't even in the finals at trials. Honestly, only Demish and the coaches probably can answer to that one because I know for a fact that he wasn't.
The thing is, again, I don't know if any other countries do it, but I've said it, and a lot of persons say, "Oh, but these people have to make their money and all of that." But I know when I go into my job, if I'm not performing to the optimum level, then I'm going to get left behind. I'm going to get released. I'm going to get let go. But for some reason, when you come on track and field, like there's no way you can be running a 46 split and still be amongst, and then you come back in the finals again and you run a slower time than you run in the heats. Impossible. Like there must be something. Okay, if you don't do well here, so there must be I'm not even say trouble, but there must be some consequence. Being in the Jamaica team again, being in the Jamaica team should be a privilege. It should be a privilege. When
Facts.
you put on those Jamaican colors, it should be a privilege to wear those Jamaican colors, and you come out there and you execute. And you can't come and listen. Not everybody is going to be a Usain Bolt. Not everybody is going to be a Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. I totally understand that. But again, when you come out there and I want to see you put out your best effort, and again, I'm sorry, but I can't see Demish Gay running a 46 split and say that's his best effort. I just can't see it. He's not prepared to run. And if you're not prepared to run like you should run, I want to see the best four out there at every point in time. If I come last with the best four out there, I can live with that.
Correct. At least you know that they're trying something. And as Dame
Yeah.
just said, Jamaica needs to think outside the box. Simple as
Yep.
that. But I think that's it on world and that. Well, no. Oh my, how should I do this? This is disrespectful. I have to talk about the performances by these two ladies, Shericka Hill and Alexis James. 12.77 and 12.87. Superb, man. And bro, I was there watching the event, and at one point in time, I thought Shericka was probably going to falter because she never had the best of starts, and I realized that she was kind of lagging behind. But then she proved her worth, and she proved that she is super. And there she was at the end, and she won the event in a record time of 12.77. So, I factor in this and the talent of this girl. I personally kind of have Shericka up there with what I saw from Brittany Anderson while she was in high school. That's how highly I rate Shericka Hill.
Yeah.
So, when I look at her and then look at Alexis James, look, we can't leave out her as well.
Yeah.
PB after PB after PB, brilliant man. So, what's your thoughts on these girls?
Definitely great stuff, right? And I would call Shericka Hill a generational talent, right? And I don't use that term loosely, right?
Fact.
And again, there was what's the other one? Akira Nugent is her name, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So the Brittany Anderson, Akira Nugent, and Shericka Hill. I don't know the injury that Nugent have right now. Hopefully she can recover from that. But when I'm looking at these three females, very young, have a lot more years left in the sport. These are the three females I'm looking at. One out of these three are going to come forward and they're going to dominate this event for a very, 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 very
But
long
stick
time.
up in a minute, boss. Because we cannot leave out the woman that just won the silver medal now. She's just 21 as well, you know.
Who
Brittany
that?
Anderson.
Oh yeah, no, but yeah, she in there. I said Brittany Anderson, Shericka
Sorry.
Hill, and Akira
Akira
Nugent.
Newton.
Them
Yeah,
three
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
those three. That's what I'm saying. Those three, they're going to be around for a very long time, and one of them is going to continuously. I think one out of those three ladies, and you guys remember it. Today's was August 7th. One of those three ladies will have the world record at some point in time. Listen, the times that these ladies are running and the constant improvement. Like for Shericka Hill, I think Vincent just said she's just 17 and running 12.7 at this age. And obviously, she have more years at champs. Do I know if she's going to continue running at champs? I don't think she should. It's similar to, if you're running 10 in high school, why would you continue at champs? Same thing, you're running 12.7. Now you start to make a transition whether you decide to go to college or wherever, but you have graduated from the Boys and Girls Championships. Look forward, look further. As Leaford came on here and said, it's now a business deal. How can you increase your value? I don't think staying at champs will do anything for your value or anything like that. But Shericka Hill, exceptional talent. And not only the fact that she can do the hurdles, but obviously she can run the flat 100. She's a 11.6.
bro.
She's a 11.16 personal best goal, and I'm sure if she run another 100, I'm sure she can probably lower that right now because she get faster. Right, so again, it's double talent there. She can run the hurdles and she can run the flat 100 meters as well. So superb talent, and again, when we have talent like these, we must coach them hard, but in the same breath, we must treat them with some form of delicacy. We must appreciate them, and we must ensure that they're under the right management team, they're under the right coaching staff, and they're being attended to the way how they should.
Here's Triple C saying that Shericka has been wanting to run hurdles. I'm happy they're actually giving her the opportunity to do so. And here's Fireheart saying that Shericka is close to Brittany's under 20 record of 12.71. She's only 17. She can get it next year.
Absolutely.
Yep. Anthony, it's actually Alexis. It's not Olivia, so it's Alexis James. And Vinny made a comment. Vinny saying that Jamaica will dominate the 100 meter, 200 meter, and 100 meter hurdles for a very long time. Only some serious injuries will stop us from seeing to our juniors farm system. Crazy.
Hold on, I just send a picture. On the boss, and we send it back to you. And when you put it up to show the dominance that we have had in women sprinting right now, minus the 400 meter. I just send it back to you. If Bobby Kersey ever gets Shericka Hill, he would turn her into a monster. We don't need Bobby Kersey to get our boss. We have coaches out here in Jamaica that can do the job just as well, right? It's just to get the opportunity, right? Because if whichever coach has now at Hydel is getting her down there to 12.7, I don't see why the Jamaican coaches can't get her. Yes, Bobby Kersey is good, but again, I don't know. I prefer quote unquote, and call me biased, but I want my Jamaican coaches to coach my Jamaican athletes. I just think that my Jamaican coaches will always have my Jamaican athletes' best interests at heart.
And for some reason, I agree with Fireheart right here as well, saying that I think Shericka can run a great 200 meter because that curve on the relay was so super.
Totally. I agree. I agree with the curve. I don't know about the 200, but I agree with the curve. I agree with the curve, Fireheart. I totally agree with the curve.
But I don't think it's a bad idea with what Akil said in terms of Christina, because even look at Brittany right now. Remember that Brittany is being trained at tumbleweed, by Rainer Ryder. So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, it's not. I mean, obviously it's not. But again, I don't know. See, like for example, Amusan, she's trained by
Lassina
Golding Clark, right? Those are the persons. I want and it might be a little bit.
Yeah, but it's not out here. That's the thing, Remember that Lassina is not out here, so yeah.
Yeah, but tumbleweed not out here either.
That's what I'm putting across in terms of.
Yeah. No, so exactly. So that's what I'm saying. If for example, if Shericka Hill decides to go overseas, I prefer to go to a Jamaican. Oh. So that's just my own bias. Because again, I just think a Jamaican will always have a Jamaican best interest at heart. Just like if a Jamaican is going to a university overseas, I like when they go to a coach where the Jamaican coach is around the track and field program. I just think it spells better for them. They have the better interest and all of that. I might be wrong, but I just think that.
Yes, sir, I'm saying that. Well, since you're saying Jamaican coach Shericka can go to Lassina.
Absolutely. And if she have the world record holder, why? Clearly she's doing something good over there.
All right, let me get this image up. All right, there it is.
Still load. All right, so this is to show, this image right here is just to show the dominance that we have had, that the Jamaican women have had, in the 100 and 200 meters. We basically have every single title right now in the 100 and 200 meter, from under 20 up to Olympics. Watch it. Elaine Thompson for Olympics. Shelly-Ann Fraser for World Champs. It's the 100 meter. Elaine Thompson for Commonwealth. Elaine Thompson for Pan Am Games. And Tina Clayton for World Champs. For the 200 meters, Elaine Thompson for Olympics. Shericka Jackson for World Champs. Elaine Thompson for Commonwealth. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce for Pan Am Games. And Brianna Liston for under 20. So this is the type of dominance that, and I think Vincent said it in the comment section just now. in the 100 and 200, and obviously in the hurdles. We're going to dominate these events for a very long time because so the Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is going to leave. Shericka Jackson is still there. Elaine still have some time there. Then we have the Brainer Listans coming up. We have the Tina Claims coming up, right? So we're going to dominate these events for a very long time. I just wish the men can just come along as well. You know,
I like what I'm seeing right now. I hope they can keep on improving, but just give them some time because as we point out the other night, Civil is doing his thing. Akeem Blake is doing his thing. And Krumi just ran 10.02. No matter where we run it, it's 10.02. That is what is recorded.
Yeah.
So, and even, what's his name, man? That's at Wildcat as well. Conrad Jones is 19 going 20. He ran 10 seconds flat. So, there's a decent crop coming up. So, I hope that they can keep on improving and get better. But the talent pool on the female side is just way small.
Yeah, and listen, and I've heard it before that it's easier to coach women than men. That's what I've heard. The women, whatever you tell them to do, they listen to do it, they go and they execute, and the men not so much. All right. And again, it depends on who you ask. They probably have a different perspective on it. But I always say that it's easier. But again, when you look at it, right, even at the quote-unquote Commonwealth Games now, how is it possible, again, I've said this, how is it possible that you are Jamaica and you don't send a 4x1 relay team representative? I don't care if you come last out there. I don't care if you come last. But how can you not have a 4x1 representative, a 4x1 representation out there, especially against teams that is not even quote-unquote good enough right now? You have a Bailey Cole who was out there. You have a Nigel Ellis who was there.
Disappointing much.
I mean, they're disappointing, but then this is a Commonwealth game. So again, this is a time where, the athletes who are not the A+ athletes, now is your time to quote-unquote get your shine, right? So how comes that we don't have a relay team out there? But again, the women have a relay team. Obviously, it wasn't the strongest relay team, but they still had a relay team, and they got a bronze medal. So again, these are the little nuances that I'm looking at and I'm saying, hold on. That means the women are just that much more prepared. Is it that? What is the situation? Because now I see Johan Blake, he went to the Diamond League. We know what he did. Akeem Blake went to the Diamond League. Oblique Civil, obviously, they said he was nursing that it's a toe issue. So, who else is there? I'm sure we have a lot of athletes there who could have get in the Commonwealth Games and probably get a bronze medal as well, because again, there wasn't the strongest teams wasn't there at the Commonwealth Games. But it's just really disappointing. This reminds me of the year that St. George's College did not enter Boys and Girls Championships.
Was it last year?
Huh?
Last year?
No, it was more active ball last year.
This year is what the fuck?
No, they were there and they got points. So you mean
when this year?
Yes, we were in the finals this year. I'm positive. Go look it up. I have
to check it out now because I don't really pay attention to school we're doing. If you don't need
we were in the top 20. We were in the top 20.
Well, if you're in top 20, that means Fern Court is in top 10 because I know for a fact that I would score you.
Yeah, we'll score more now, man. We'll score more now. Right? So, but when we look at those things, why wasn't the guy who, what's his name, Hudson? The guy that won the 200 meter at the trials, why he wasn't invited to Commonwealth? These are the little things, and I think and it's easier said than done. But I think the little politics, or we have the little egotistical thing, what we're having at the track and field thing, it is robbing the Jamaican people from excellence. I believe if Hudson had come and listen, I think we had one person at 200 meter Commonwealth and then didn't do anything. I believe if Hudson was there, he could have at least made the finals.
Cajun goes in.
I don't even know that brother, boss.
I think it was the DC Foster.
Look at that. If Hudson was there, I think he could have made some noise and probably escape with a medal. But again, these are little championships that we need. Have this guy going there, because I'm sure he was disappointed about the whole World Championships debacle. But here, let him come again. Let him go ahead and execute, make the finals, and who knows, he can win a medal out there. But this is Jamaica, and we have to represent at the highest level, especially in the sprint events. If you want to tell me about 800, 1500 and so, fine. But in the 100, 200, 4x1, 4x4 hurdles and so, we must have representatives there ready to go and to compete.
I think it's JOA fault as well, as Albert is saying here, that they reduced the team to 45 people as well. So that was part of the issue. Remember they're having a back and forth between the JOA and I think it was J3s at the point in time.
Yeah, but if you're going to reduce it to 45, then you're supposed to bring your best 45. Your best 45 is supposed to be there. So guess what? Your best 45, who is available? So obviously we know Akeem Blake, Johan Blake wasn't available. But then this guy from GC first, I don't know. And I see Horace saying that his paperwork was the issue. But what paperwork? I heard that he was supposed to be available
July
while the
27th.
World Championships was going on.
Yeah, man, July 27th, his paperwork came through.
Yeah, July 27th. So again, why is he not there? And this is the thing. Why is it that as Jamaican people, why we can't get an explanation as to what's happening? Why we have always a here say this, here say that? Why the JOA or whoever it is can come out and say, hey, this is what happened, this is this, and give us some clarity on the situations instead of having us guessing and guessing and guessing over here. Hopefully one day it will get better, but for the men within themselves, I just think that, we have to continue getting better. We are much better than where we were last year. See, Triple SC saying this. His paperwork was fine, they just didn't choose him for the team. And I'm sure the guy was ready to go to represent, especially the same never get to go on Worlds. We need some explanation for these things. I think the JOA and all those persons, they get away with murder too much.
But that is facts, and that has always been something that happens with Jamaica track and field over the years. But I'm actually here searching for image. Let me see if I find it.
What that?
Just gonna show you how poor the men has been. That even at Commonwealth Games, these men suck. And I said suck, I mean literally sucks.
And obviously, I want us to have to finish. Okay.
Look at that.
This was Commonwealth Games?
Yes, sir.
1 goal. Who get the goal there? Broadbell.
Yeah.
1 silver. Who get the silver there?
I try to remember, but it's currently slipping me.
1 bronze. Who get the bronze there?
Another one that is slipping that I remember. Just look at that. 3 medals. 3.
Yeah. This is Triple LC and Fireheart. Can you tell us who get these medals for the men? Because honestly, I cannot remember.
Jail got the silver.
Jail got silver.
Yeah.
And who get the bronze?
With a pedestrian time in that hurdles as well, because I think he ran like 49 thereabouts. And remind us of who got the bronze. But I was saying, boss, Commonwealth are for people like these that can't win anything on the big stage. So yeah, but imagine you go to Commonwealth and you only can regenerate 3 medals. Seriously?
Yeah. Or discus. Them said discus come third.
Yeah, Smichael.
Oh, Travis came third.
Just clicking. Yeah, he came third.
I saw them in about. What about Dakers?
I don't remember, but I saw these things in about. It's just that it was an oversight because I never had that much interest in Commonwealth Games. I was more interested in the Jamaica netball team. That is what I really want.
Absolutely. Like, again, it's very underwhelming, to go to the Commonwealth Games. This is, again, I say, you see, same thing, Commonwealth is college level. I think it's quote-unquote glorified sports day. I think it's sports day. This is where you should go and, build up your resume for those who are not elite A+ athletes. Build up your resume, get your stuff going and, put something on the board. And, if we leave with 3 medals, so we get 1 medal from World Champs, which is a relay medal, 0 individual medals for the men. And then now we have 3 medals, which is 3 individual medals and no relay medals. The state of the men track and field is not good right now. Hopefully, as I say, we have the Oblique Civil, we have the Akeem Blakes of the world. Those are two that we know that can stay consistent and, give a consistent effort. We want two more. Nkrumah is coming up. Let us see and, find one more, and
There's
just,
another youngster that is actually a Casey that is a late bloomer that is talented. And I think he's probably off now. Jivan Newby, the same guy that you said that beat
Oh,
level.
Newby want to beat the one that robbed you.
But let's just touch on the netball quickly before we just get to the Diamond League. So I love what I saw from Jamaica, but as I said before, and I think Josh was one who kept on saying it to the people, Jamaica should have just saved the performance that they did in the group stages for the finals. They showed their hand, and the Aussies were there to just get it going. But one thing that I want to point out, in this final, I think they did well. But where Jamaica lost this game was in that third quarter. Too much turnovers, and they can't come into a finals and have like what, 7? I think it was between 5 to 7 turnovers in the third quarter alone. And these turnovers weren't just like a one here and there. They were back to back. They were consecutive. So that was what killed them in that game. And I think Australia went up by at least 10 points at one point in time. So it's good that they eventually cut back down the score, and Australia won by what, 5, I think, 4 or 5 thereabouts. So yeah, 4. So I think this is one of the better teams that I've seen from Jamaica in terms of their overall play and all of that. They control the tempo at some points in time. I mean, they love playing fast netball, and Jamaica slowed down the tempo and got them to make errors. And in that fourth quarter, they were good, man. Defensively, they were good until they started to open the floodgates, man. But overall, I think they should just work on concentration. That is the key thing. And I see Akil saying that the Aussies forced them into those unforced errors. I just think that they weren't good. They lacked the mental fortitude, and we always talk about it in other sports in the game. So we say that momentum is a big thing. Jamaica had a momentum going into halftime. They came out in the third quarter and it just seemed like it was like flat. They just came out flat and it seemed like all the momentum that they had just go totally off the ball. But love it, man. Silver medal, can't complain, man. You can't tell when last I see Jamaica in a netball final. So what? I have to celebrate it either way.
What I'll say about this is, and I was telling someone this today. I say it's hard to play 3 elite games in a row in any sport. True. And it's hard to beat the same team twice in a tournament. Very, very, very difficult, right? So remember, when you beat Australia first, now you move from the hunter to the hunted, right? So now Australia is hunting you, and you are no longer hunting Australia, right? So, as a result of that, obviously, there were times when, Jamaica could have won. A lot of persons are saying there were some unforced turnovers. But I think the Aussies played well, and, I think Jamaica played well as well. But again, it's just hard to beat the same team twice, especially this is not like a bug team like Australia is one. Are they number 1 in the world?
We're number 1.
Huh?
We're number 1.
Yeah, but they're number 1 in the world.
But on the contrary, Kims, you was thinking, and it was earlier Josh and I were talking about it. Zine, had Jamaica not beaten Australia in that group stage, Jamaica would have finished second in their group. England won the other group. So Jamaica would have played against England in the semis, right? It would have been Australia against New Zealand, in which that would be a harder semis. So that would probably take out a bit more out of the Aussies. And then Jamaica wouldn't meet them until the final.
And then, but again, hindsight is 2020, right?
Yeah, so, true.
Yeah, so, we can say that, I think, so, I'm not really focus on what they didn't do. I think it's a valiant effort. I think they did well. I think they exceeded expectations.
Big up Carifta is always, man.
I never hear a lot of persons were talking about netball until, so I think Jamaica kind of, quote unquote, put themselves on the Commonwealth map by their performances, right? So I think that is something that must be lauded. That's something that we must talk about. Obviously, we would love to have the gold medal. We'd love to finish on top. But it just wasn't our time this time. And I think that's okay. I think the girls played well. They played their hearts out. And I've always said, in sports, if at the end of the tournament, you can say, man, I gave it my all, I can just live with the results after that. I can just live with it.
And big up to the GS and the GK, man. I love both of them. Janelle Fowler Reid and Shamir Sterling. I love both of them, man. And as I said, it was very good. And the people mentioning about as the people mentioning about some of the calls were questioned by the umpires.
Yeah, and see, so
I think it's much to do about none of the games. I think people are probably major in the minor because all right, initially I watched that game basically in 30. I just missed the first quarter, I believe. And there was one play where I thought it was a foul when I saw the girl. Initially it looked like a foul because it seems like the other girl bounced into her, but then on replay I saw that she actually slipped. So that's what I'm saying is that some of
yeah,
these calls that people are saying were questionable. If you look at it keenly, it was sometimes a slip here and there that people actually never pick up on.
yeah, but also, and we do it a lot in football. We say, oh, the ref should have called that. Listen, I think it's human. The referees are humans. They will make mistakes, right? And obviously, we can complain about them. I think the Aussies in the game that Jamaica played, they were complaining about some calls as well that
Correct.
went against them. That they feel like it shouldn't. So again, 6 or 1 half does not the other really. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that. I think the bigger thing is what sensational is saying right here. Got a sponsor, right?
Correct.
And again, this is what happens when you do good work, when you do great work, and you go out there and you excel, then you get rewarded. And I think
Yes, man.
they're rewarded with a nice sponsor. I think it's with Ray and Nephew. I'm
Yeah, I
thinking,
think so.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's with Ray and Nephew. So that that's a big deal. Netball is not one of the quote unquote sexy sports out there. So when they get a sponsor and somebody willing to come on board, see what they're doing, love what they're doing, love the progress that's happening, we definitely have to mention that and have to give it some attention.
I will have a
So
netball in the chat, because Kish is a netballer, She might
yeah,
not say, but yeah, man, Kish play netball too, man.
Kish, we want to see you in the Jamaican colors, Kish. What's going on?
But what I want to say, man, big up to the English crowd, man. I mean, after England dropped out, it was all Jamaica. They cheered for Jamaica right through, so Jamaica was riding that wave. And as you mentioned again, hats off to the girls. But one final thing before we move on from Commonwealth and get to the Diamond League, talk about your girl now. Because Amatete will say I leave her alone. It's still your girl. So she won double 22.02 in the 200 meter. Good
Mm-hmm.
time, man. As I said, hindsight is 2020, and we might say, yo, she ran this time at the World
World
Championships.
champs.
Would have gave Jamaica the 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
But good time. Good way to probably upon the season I wait until Diamond League final. So I thought about you throughout these championships overall.
So what I decided to do for Elaine was to take away to remove the fact that she's at the Commonwealth Games, right? So I said, okay, she's at the Commonwealth, let me remove that. And actually watch the race. And when I watched that 200 meters, I was very impressed with it, right? Again, the way how she started, how she attacked the corner. I don't know if you saw the racing, but the way how she attacked the corner and she no, netball is not a sexy sport, Felicia. If you understand the word sexy, it's not a sport that is quote unquote lauded by Jamaicans. Football is though, but anyway. um, so when I see Elaine come off the corner, it's something like a woman that means business. So I really love that. And obviously, once you come off the corner in the lead, no matter who you are, I don't think you're going to catch her on the street, right? So a lot of persons were talking about Mboma is going to beat her. A lot of persons were talking about Ophelia was going to beat her. I know Mboma just coming from an injury. I really didn't expect a lot. So just the way how she executed the race, I think it was a well executed race. I think she ran to quote unquote instructions and listen. This is still one of the best. As much as my might come on here, my might cuss her and this and that, I still think she's one of the best athletes in the world. I think form wise, technically sound, she is the most
Facts.
technically sound athlete I have seen in a long time. Right? But again, it's just to get everything together, get a break from the injuries, get into full training and so on and so forth. The World Champs is coming up. Let us see if she can have a healthy season, injury-free season, and then see what she can produce. We saw what happened when she got time. But the 200 meters that she ran, especially that curve, I was super, super impressed with the curve. If you
But you
look
know
at the
what was
world,
impressive?
for that.
You see that 4x1 leg that she ran?
Yeah,
That's impressive.
I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about that later. Man. I'm going to talk about that after. But you know, when you come off of the curve, boss, and I'm looking and I'm saying, this is the curve I wanted you to run at the World Champs. Listen, again, I'm saying yes. When it come to, when it come to placing and all that stuff, it's neither here nor there for me. Same thing with football, like the trophies or whatever. That are just the icing on the cake. But what I love to see is the effort that you put into it. And I don't think she had the effort in the World Champs. And to say her belly was hurting, we can think about whatever that could have been, right? So, and as a woman, it can be anything. So I'll give her a break with that. But how she attacked the curve and what she did in this 200 meters, I really love it. And I think the 200-meter field was a little bit more competitive than the 100-meter field. So she came out again. A double champion is a double champion, right? So I have to give her a props. She went to the Commonwealth Games in 2018 and she came fourth in that 200 meters. She was beaten by Shawnee, Shericka Jackson, and Dina Asher-Smith. All right, it was that order. Shawnee won, Shericka second, Dina Asher-Smith third, and Elaine came fourth. That was in 2018, right? So when you look at that, I don't know if she wanted to come back and to finish a champion, right? So everybody have their own individual goals. Watching her interview, she said her team decided that they're going to go to Commonwealth Games. Who am I, a little guy on a podcast? Who am I to tell her don't go to the blasted Commonwealth Games? Go on, they're going to do whatever you want to do, right? But again, she executed, she won 2 gold medals, and to your point, that 4x1 that she ran, it was sensational. That ankle leg, she was blazing. I wish we could have the splits for it, but again, and I have to start from the first leg. Again, we can establish that Kemba Nelson is just not a curve runner. We can get that out. She is not a curve runner. She shouldn't run no curve. So she shouldn't start the relay and she shouldn't turn the relay. If you're going to put Kemba Nelson on the relay, make sure on the back stretch and make sure do the ankle. If there is no space for her on those 2 legs, she should not be on the relay. I'm sure we can agree to that now. We have now had 2 sample size with her starting the relay and running a curve, and both times, listen, Toby Amusan clean her up on that first leg. And listen, I don't know Amusan 100-meter speed, but I know she's a hurdler and she's very fast over the hurdles. But you clean her up on that first leg. How is that possible? Not good enough. So again, Kemba Nelson out. Second leg, what can I really expect from a Natalia White? Honestly, whatever you give me, I'll take it. Third leg, Ramona Burchell, the same thing. What can I really and truly expect? Whatever you give me, I take it as well. And then the ankle leg, I think Elaine went out a little bit too quickly. When I zoom in and so she went out a little bit too quickly. Again, these are the exchanges that they have to continue to work on. Probably she have to sharpen the run-up that she give everybody else since she had to run out so quickly. But again, when she got the button, she did some damage. I think she got the button around 5th or so, and she got them into a bronze position. I think that was absolutely sensational. So congrats to Elaine, left with 3 medals, 2 gold and a bronze. They can't ask for nothing more to end that quote-unquote championship season until the Diamond League finals come around.
I'll just close it off by saying that big up to the Birmingham crowd. This event was well supported right throughout all the days of the championships, and this is what we wanted to see at World Championships that we never saw. But big up to them, man. They cheered on everybody, and it was a great championship overall. I mean, I never had that much intrigue about it. I wasn't much interested in it because, again, Commonwealth Games has really lost its true meaning in terms of competitors and the strongest and all of those stuff. But once again, big up to the organizers, big up to the crowd. Now we move to the Diamond League, and let's just talk about one Shericka first before I get into Shelly. So Shericka ran a 200 meter, and Shannon Miller requested to be put in lane 9. Don't know for what reason or whatever, not what was behind the thinking, but she herself requested to be in lane 9.
Because, so this is why. So for the Diamond League, you actually get to pick the lane where you want to pick, right? So you pick, so each person gets to pick. Oh, so that's why Shericka, I think, picked lane 6, right? But I think, based on the explanation that was given, when you're in lane 9, you're in a shorter curve. and her legs them long. So the shorter curve that she run, the quote unquote better it is for her to get onto the straight and have more of the straight to do whatever she do. But again, I don't think Shawnee at this current moment is on Shericka Jackson's level where the 200 meters is concerned.
And Christian,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's allowed at Diamond League and those stuff, but I personally don't think it make any sense. Why? When I go to these other events at the major games, you're not really going to get a lane 9 to say, yes, I want to go there. And she's going to probably win her semis or whatever it is when it comes down to the rounds, and she's going to get the middle lane. So, again, people do it for different reasons, but I didn't really think it made much sense either way. But that's her thing. And if she decided that she wanted to do that, then okay. But I'm happy that you point out about Shericka, because key thing that I really look at with Shericka, first 100, otherwise from trials and then at world champs, generally your first 100 is the worst part of her race. But as I always say, you see, if you and that woman come off at that curve at the same time, or you're just a slight bit ahead of her, she's going to eat you up in that stretch, in that duel. And guess what? Brandini was the one who came off the curve first, and Shericka wasn't too far behind. And then you saw she put on the afterburners, and as I said over and over, I just love this girl. I mean, I think she has a lot to improve on, and she can only get better. And 21.84, after what she did at World Champs, not a bad time to really take on to the Diamond League final. So I think she was good and she was worth it. And big up to Anthony girl, Brandini. She finally did something when it never mattered.
Yeah, she finally come third. I guess that's amongst the medals, huh? But listen, I know Jamaicans know the strength of Jenna Prandini from what she did on that 4x1 at the World Champs, right? How she cleaned up Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce on that third leg. So we know that Jenna Prandini can run an excellent curve, right? She's one of the best curve runners out there. But again, I think Shericka Jackson right now is just in a space by herself, in a league by herself, in a world by herself when it comes to the 200 meters. Nobody can test her, and I think Jason was the one who told us that Shawnee said it's time now to unleash. So I don't know what she's unleashing.
In the 200.
Yeah, probably. Listen, I don't know what Shawnee can do to get down to, because again, I think by the time Shawnee Shawnee and Shericka, I remember Shericka have the 400 background as well. So it's not like Shawnee is going to have any advantage. And for foot speed, I don't think Shawnee is faster.
No, man, Shericka got eat her, because look on Shericka PB in 100. Check Shawnee one.
I think it's 10-9. I think Shawnee one is 10-9 something.
Yeah, and guess what? Shericka is what, 10-7, with prospects of going 10-6.
Yeah. So when I'm looking at that, I don't see where or how, where or how she can get challenged. And listen, I understand that when you win an event at a certain rate, you want to change. But I don't think so. I think Shawnee has dominated the 400. But I think what you should try and do is try and probably break the world record, right? Probably try and break the world record for the 400 before she decided that she wants to quote unquote step down to the 200. Because let me tell you, Levon, as you know, and as the commenters know, going to the 200 is not no easy feat. You have a lot of person, a lot of big guns. Yeah, ask him. You have Shericka Jackson, Elaine when she's on her team. You have Regina Asher Smith of the world. You have a lot of persons out there that.
And guess where leaving out? Your favorite person.
Oh,
that Steiner just signed a big contract.
Steiner Baina.
Yes, man, Steiner Baina.
Steiner Baina now run 55 more races in our season. So she's going to be. So there's just so much competition there, but I think in 400, Shawnee is kind of in a world by herself. I mean, Nasser is about to come back. Let us see what she has. Obviously, the girl from Dominica as well, Paulina as well. So that is your competition right there. So that is really where I'd want Shawnee and try and see if she can break the world record, set a different goal. But stepping down to the 200, as Jamaicans would say, I think you have water on it. Because I don't see how you have a win come 200. Like it's 21-4 running the 200s right now, winning the world champs. That's not a joke time.
And then, bro, just imagine if Elaine can really hit back up front. Just imagine that. It's crazy, man. Well, here's Alex D saying that unleash what? Then she said that she wants to do the heptathlon. So is this influenced by her husband? Because if memory serves right, I think her husband actually does this event. So is it?
She said she wanted the 200. I don't know about
That
that.
is what I heard. That she said that she wants to step down from the 400 to the 200. But as I said, that it's like you feeding meat to a pack of wolves. The pack of wolves are down here already. They're just
Yeah,
waiting for her to come to just gobble her up.
yeah, I don't. Akil, I don't know why Akil. I don't think I disagree with that, Akil. I don't think the 200 meter is suited for her. I think she's suited to be a 400 meter runner. I can't see the 200 meter being suited for her. And again, at this stage in her career and where the 200 meter is right now at 21.4, I don't think she can get down there. 21.4, 21.5, I don't think she can get
Tough.
down. She can hardly crack 22 on a consistent basis. I
Because
don't think.
thinking about it, she ran her PB 21.74. All right, continue talking. I'm just going to search back and find out when she ran that because she
Yeah,
hasn't gone that close in a while.
yeah, I'm looking, and Sean is actually an athlete that I like a lot. But I would just prefer she just focus on the 400. Try break that record, and then just like Sydney stepping down from the 4 hurdles to the four. Sydney already win world champs, win Olympics, break record on top of record on top of record. Okay, now you can graduate and come down to the 400. But that's just my own little
All right,
bias.
she ran her PB 21.74 in 2019 in Zurich.
2019.
Yeah, in Zurich. That was when she ran that. She ran 21.74. And if you ask me, since then, you probably can count on how much time she has run that since then. But that's still going with Shericka. I think Shericka has it within her to break this 200-meter record. So I just hope she keeps on improving and all of that. But separate apart from that, we won't live on that because that we have a lot of other things to talk about in the future in regards to this. But let's focus on the other woman that is still contemplating about a world record and talking about one Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce on 10.66. And bro, I've been impressed with Shelly over the years, but it's in terms of a start and a drive phase, this arguably is one of her best ever. If you watch back that 100 meter, just look at that start into the drive phase and you see how bullet like she was. I mean, yeah, we got accustomed to that, but I think this was rather impressive. But before I get into the race itself, she did an interview with Mirror, I believe, and they asked her why she never partake in the Commonwealth. And she said that coming to the season, she and her coach decided that they weren't going to partake in that event. Reason being, she doubled at the world champs, and the 200 meter took a lot out of her. And the coach put it there saying that if she wants to continue going on, if she wants to pursue her longevity in terms of going to Paris 2024, the Commonwealth at this point in time doesn't make any sense at her age. And
Yep.
also, she has to manage her own better and manage what she's doing better. And she also went on to say that she has it in her crosshair and her crosshairs to get that world record. Said that 10.49, and when she look at what they all did last season, and based on what she has done season, because trust me, if you remember right, she has run out 10.6 at least 6 to 7 times this season.
This season, nah.
Yeah, no, I think it's run 4 or 5 times. No, not 6 or 7, 4 or 5 times. I know that she ran 10.67 around 3 times there about, and the 10.66. So she has run it around 4 to 5 times this season, and she said that she's pursuing that world record and she believes that she can get it. So interesting times ahead. But what your thoughts on her? What's your thoughts on what she said about not going to the Commonwealth, being at her age?
All right. So loaded question. So first
No, man,
off,
let's answer it in parts. First off, Commonwealth, that part.
so Commonwealth. Obviously that's a no-brainer. Again, you're 35 years old. You just finished high mileage world champs. 3 rounds of the 100, 3 rounds of the 200, 1 round of the 4x1. Absolutely have no business being at a Commonwealth, a meaningless Commonwealth Games. Shelly-Ann winning at the Commonwealth Games does nothing, absolutely nothing for her resume, nothing at all, right? Again, but what you will do is put more mileage on her body. You don't want that, right? You don't want that at all. So, not running at the Commonwealth Games, I think that was the best decision. especially if she wants to continue doing the sport for a very long time. Where the world record is concerned, now listen, again, that is what I want my athlete to say. I want my athlete to say her eyes are on the world record. She wants to get the world record. She thinks the world record is attainable. Listen, before we did things at 10-6 was something that could never happen. Right now, Shelly and Fraser-Pryce, if Shelly run 10-7, she vex. Right now, she's in 10-6 category. Right? And obviously, we see Elaine run 10-5. Right? So when we see that, then we know, say, okay, bam. Then, and I think somebody was telling me, I think it was Triple LC that was really telling me, say, she have a spikes that have 10.58 on it. So I think that is our next goal. For run 10.58 and then she take it down from there. Right? And, I am done. My days of doubting Shelly is over. Apart from Jenna Prandini wiping her up on that third leg, in 100 meter, my days of doubting Shelly and Fraser is over, right? I think that, the woman has defied all odds, as I said before. You go there, you have a baby, you come back, and you dominate like you never left. Like nothing happened, like life is just normal, right? And now you come back and you're running faster than you ever ran in your previous camp, right? This is not something that we can laugh at. This is something absolutely sensational. So looking at that, if she says she feels like she can get the world record, then, who am I to say anything? Right, this woman have 5 world champs title, 5 of the last 7. Like these things are greatness. So if she feel like she can do it, then she can definitely do it.
I see a particular fella in the comment section, and bro, I'm sorry that the man not stay like me and you in terms of betting, because I would definitely take up this bet. So I see a kid in the comment section saying that Shelly won't break 10.6.
Again, Akil, the only thing you will come here and say, "Oh, I was wrong," so I'm not even gonna take your point.
And that's why I said I wish he was a better.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. "Oh, I was wrong." Yeah, we know you were wrong. You're wrong most of the time, right? But again, I'm not going to put that past Shelly. She ran what 10.61. That's her personal best.
10.60.
10.60. Yeah, if she do that, how am I going to tell her so she can't run under 10.6? Listen, she get the right conditions, the right altitude, then she can run 10.5, 10.4. She can right now. Shelly can do whatever she wants, the boss. Like she is that great, she's that talented. So I'm not going to be the one to say Shelly can't do this or she can't do that. What I will say though is that she should run no more third leg. That is what is. No, Michelle, I'm just being honest. I'm no Shelly and Fraser lover, not by any stretch of the imagination.
The man has been honest.
But I'm just being honest, right? But I just don't want Shelly run the third leg of any relay. That's it. Anything else, sure. But I think she can definitely. I think before her career is over, she'll run sub 10.6 for sure.
That is the point, because Achilles is living on the point that she has run 10.66, 10.67, and blah blah blah. The key is not factoring is that she has done a ton load of 200 meters this season. So you're not looking at that aspect of it, that she has run 200, and going forward, she herself said that she's not doing any 200 meter ever again. So if she's not doing any run and she get, as you mentioned, Kim's perfect conditions and all those stuff in a one-off race, of course it's possible to do a sub 10.6. Boss, everybody coming after it tonight, man. They said, yo, you change. I can't believe I'm hearing from Kim. Somebody check on him if he's safe. And same for that Kim's also like himself.
Let me say blink if you're not safe. I'm blinking. Hey, put up fire hard. Put up fire hard. Yeah.
So tomorrow is the Continental Tour in Hungary, guys. Bardell versus Grant and Daniel Roberts, Shelly and Bree in the 100 meter, and Shericka in the 200 meter. Akeem in the 100 meter, I think you want to.
So back to that 100 meter real quick. Brian actually got a better start than Shelly,
She did.
In that one, but then, obviously, she couldn't keep it up. All thanks to you, Triple LC. All thanks to you, I'm sure. But listen, Brian actually got a better start than Shelly, but that transition, right? And I don't know, because remember, we had that same problem with Shelly. The only thing is that by the time they're ready to catch Shelly, the race done.
Correct.
Right? But Brianna, them catching her at 60 meters. But she beat some people. She beat TT Terry, who just run 10:82 last week. Right? I think she beat Melissa Jefferson too. So she beat some people in the race who, Jefferson made the 100-meter final and she was the only person who didn't run sub 11.
I don't really want to go back down the road in the boss, but I still think she need to left Atto. Yeah, man. I think gonna be perfect for her. Same Ronaldo Walcott. Why? She has a good start already, just like Shelly did. I realized that Shelly last 50 to 40 to 30 meters has gotten better. So I think Walcott and Brenna Williams would be such a good love story, just like Shelly. And with it being said that probably 2024 will be Shelly last year in terms of a senior. That is what she said. You never know what will happen. I mean, she might go to Paris Olympics and win and say, you know what, we'll push it to a next year or whatever. But based on all indications, 2024 seems to be that time that she will stop. So Brenna is 20 right now. 2024, she'll be 22. Perfect time to be there on the tutelage of World Cup.
Again, I believe, as I've said many times, I believe the relationship between Otto and Brianna is far more than just an athlete and a coach. Again, and I don't really like speaking on people's personal lives or whatever, but it's just an observation. For most support, I've seen her mother and I've seen her brother once, I believe. But I've never seen a quote-unquote father figure. Again.
Yeah, but you can still be a father figure and not necessarily a coach. If you mean her well, you can do that.
Yeah, but again, if you look at Otto Bolton, and if you listen to his commentary, and if you listen to how he talks, that man believes that he is one of the best coaches out there in the world. Because I remember there was he wanted to coach, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, people in the comment section, or you to live on. There was something that I think he wanted to coach Trinidad national team or something like that.
Yeah, but I remember that he was coaching Khalifa Saintfort, and as people put it out, a him masher up. That's what they said. They say a him mash up Khalifa Saintfort.
Yeah, they said that. But he wanted to coach Trinidad national team, and they're basically saying that he wasn't good enough. That's initially that's what they said. So he uses Brianna Williams as his clutch to say, hey, look at this. I'm presenting a 10-9 athlete here, right here. She run a personal best every single year. This is the result of my greatness. So I can't see Otto now saying, okay, Brie, guess what? I have brought you this far. I don't think I can bring you any further. You could go somewhere else. I do not see Otto doing that. I can't see that at all.
Alright, so let's get a question. Since I brought up that, so you're the controversial figure generally on this show,
Huh?
I'm saying that generally you're the controversial figure on this show.
Uh-huh.
So they came on board when we were at what? Around, so for argument's sake, 400 subscribers. Since you came aboard, we have reached what? 3.2k, I believe. So you have been a cornerstone of this, and you have been there from basically inception and everything. However, let's say there's somebody else out there that I potentially think can blow up this even bigger. Even though you're someone that, as I always mentioned, once we reach out to you, say, yo, yeah, ready. No, if there's this person that can potentially push this to say 100k, what would you do?
So it's different, right? Because for me, again, so this is for me, right? I know who Kems is, and I know who Kems is not, right? And I know, I don't need quote unquote validation to know who Kems is. I think Otto needs validation to know who Otto is, right? So while I would say Levon, say Jerry probably better to do this than me, and I can be all right, and I can stay from the sidelines and cheer on you and Jerry. I honestly don't think Otto can bear to see another coach, a Coach Brianna, to higher heights than he did and cheer for her. I just don't see it. I think he's going to say, "Oh, I didn't get enough time." I think it's just going to be a bunch of excuses. I didn't get enough time. If I got enough time, but what I see is that, again, I think there's a lot of things surrounding Atto. One of the things that I said is that, okay, I don't know if he gets quote unquote paid to coach Brianna. I don't know all the intricacies of that. Same flame, big up yourself, right? But listen, right? Like shit, I forget what point. I'm gonna say all of
Just get at that, man. You're
it.
talking about Atto, that trainer, and all of that stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah. So listen, I just can't see Otto looking at Brianna and say, "Hey, Brianna, this is the furthest I can get you." I think he's going to come with a bunch of excuses. I didn't get enough time. If I got enough time, this is the trajectory Brie was going at. Listen, but then one thing I said, this I don't know if he gets paid to coach Brianna.
Yeah, that was where you were at.
I don't know if he gets paid to coach Brianna, but I know he gets paid to work for NBC. Right? So sometimes when Brianna is doing a quote-unquote track meet, for example, in Jamaica, and the US trials are going, he's over here in the US trials, and she's over there in Jamaica. I don't know who is with her in Jamaica. If him call her, if him video call her, whatever the case may be. I don't know.
You know the key thing with that is being so young, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is where you really need your coach to be there all the step of the way now, because this is your developmental stage and you just need that person to be there to say, all right, so you could have done this. Otherwise, then, bro, we always say it, talking over the phone and being there in person is two total different things.
Yep.
Things that you probably see on a video, you'd have seen it with your bare eyes and you could probably go watch it back up on a video, but not seeing it live, it's a world of difference. Because what if she was out there and she was probably warming up and yes, yo, something never like where the right is. So change your warm up. You could tell her that right there. But on a video call, it's totally different thing. As I said, the focus is probably not right there right now with Atto on her.
You're pretty. So Triple S is saying after the double championship at the US under 20, Otto said, "I got her like this." That's what I'm talking about. That is the egotistical approach that I don't like. I have never heard Stephen Francis say, "I got her like this," or "I got him like this." I never heard Glenn Mills say, "I got her," or "I got him like this." But again, I believe Otto feels like he has something to prove. I think he likes to hear himself talk, and I think he likes to look and talk about his accomplishments. That is what I see with Otto, right? If you remember in 11, remember with the whole quote-unquote Panadol thing what happened? When Brianna was, I guess I said she had the flu or whatever it is. You know the first thing Otto do? The first thing Otto did was distance himself from the situation. Oh, I don't know anything about it. Her mom brought her to the doctor, over-the-counter medication, gave her Panadol, this, and I told her mom not to do it. And the first thing he might do, go in a defense mode for defend himself. Not his athlete, Not his athlete to say, himself, I had nothing to do with it.
So guess what? You prove the point. Well, not proving the point. You're substantiating what you're saying. You need validation to say that, okay, I brought her here. But then if it happens that she doesn't matriculate to what we actually expect, then he'll probably start distancing himself and say, oh, she probably wasn't focused here and this and that. So it seems like when the times get tough, he's not that person to actually will stick around and say, all right, let me see how best I can deal with the situation. Because I remember the situation, what happened. Why is that thing couldn't say, well, we brought her to whatever not, and this was what happened. Why have to be, her mother did this, and I told her this, and I told her that. So yeah, you're onto something right there.
Yep. What's up?
Which one?
The Triple LC one and then the Fire Heart one.
Just one I said he meant he got her already with the skills and mentality. I agree with that. He hasn't done anything with her since he got her.
I think that's a little bit harsh. I think he has done some stuff with her. I am not going to say he hasn't done anything with her. But I see somebody saying that Frano said something similar. I think Frano distanced himself from the whole Asaka and the Sharon situation because Prano actually told them not to do it. Remember, if you remember the situation with Prano and Asafa go to some other man from the side. If I remember correctly, they go to some other man from the side and take some from the man and Prano tell them say they're not supposed to take it or whatever, and then go take it and then you get blah 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 blah. A lot of persons will remember that story, but it goes something like that. And as Jamaicans say, if you not go so, it nearly goes so. Somewhere around the side.
Yeah, this was what Ferret was saying. Ferret was basically saying the same thing. I was saying that Elaine said the same about getting instruction over the phone, and she's a double Olympic champion. So if she needs face-to-face instructions, Brianna just 20 doesn't need it more than Elaine.
Exactly. I'm perfect. Because listen, when you are, say for example, you're going in your blocks and you're stride out, you want your coach there to say, hey, no, not that. I'll do this, I'll do that.
Exactly
What
what
are
I'm
you
saying.
going to do? You're going to put up the phone like this and then say, oh, coach, how do I look? Come on now. And again, I understand that he has an obligation to NBC, whatever contract he signed with them. Again, I don't know if he's getting quote-unquote paid to coach Brianna, apart from, a little sponsorship or whatever. I don't know the intricacies of that deal. So probably, even if I coach Brianna to get some exposure or something like that, and then Brianna now young and all that, come see what.
That's it. DM just said something in the games. Let me just put it up. Atto is riding off Brianna because Jamaica get recognized. I think she helped him reach this far to be a broadcaster. Quote, just saying in quote. Kems is so right.
Listen, again, listen. If Brianna tell Atto say, and I think being again, and this is just I have no inside information. This is just me looking. Being 20 or 20, 21, whatever she is, being 20 years old, and this man has been with her, it's 3-4 years now, and just whatever information or whatever conversations they share. I see Atto going out to dinner with the family, at the house with the family, mommy come up, Atto treat them nice. So I think the bond that they have there, I think Brianna within herself probably even afraid to leave too. But she'll be like, man, how can I leave this guy? Because the way Atto seems like the kind of person that put things in there and say, oh, I'm going to make you great, right? Listen, I tell you that you couldn't, they say that you couldn't run under 11 seconds. Now I have you running under 11 seconds. And those things just continue to play in her mind. It's hard for Brianna get up and say, yo, I am God. It is very, very, very hard for me. The other girl that he was coaching, or you say mash up, or whatever, when they asked Atto about that girl, Atto took zero accountability.
I know.
Zero accountability.
Because remember that viewers, they can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Saint Fort was around the same time with Shericka them as well, I think she was, and I think she normally beat Shericka them if I'm not mistaken. A stand correct.
Like she was a super talent.
She was top.
Yeah.
And ask a question. I mean, somebody told me the other day that the last time they saw Khalifa Saint Fort, he was working at a restaurant.
Wow.
That's the last they saw her. So, but I just think that she needs to move on though. But Akeem Blake, he got third in that 100-meter. Good for him right there. And that is about it, because in the 400-meter, the Jamaicans never really did anything done. One Femke Ball decided that she was going to run the flat 4, and she ran 49.75. So if Femke can do that, I really want to see what Sydney McLaughlin will do. So, any other thing that you want to touch on before we close it off?
Johan came what? Johan came fifth?
Yeah.
10.1 something.
1.5, I think. 1.5 or 1.3 thereabout.
When is the Diamond League final?
I think it's in September. I know that there's another meet on the 10th. I think it's Monaco. Yeah, I think it's Monaco that will be happening on the 10th. So that's a couple days from now. So yeah.
Fireheart, I know you don't send us your information, Fireheart, to get the shirt. So Triple LC get our shirt, nice, comfortable, fitting, fit her well, right?
Just like I said, let me just run a little part of it quick.
Yes, run that video one more time so we can see Triple LC live and in action in our gears.
Look at what I just got in the mail. My Sports Frenzy t-shirt. Thank you so much, Levon and Company, for sending me my absolutely gorgeous t-shirt. I'm loving it. Want to call on yourself the Kings of Virtual Sports? I agree with that. Kings of Virtual Sports. I absolutely enjoy watching track and field with you guys. Just keep up the good work. Look at this. Look at this. Loving my t-shirt. Thank you so much.
Just look at that.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. Fireheart, send the information. Are you want to hide there in the computer screen? You know we're going to want a picture and a video of you in nice Sports Frenzy merch. But last thing I want to say, Commonwealth Games is over. I don't know, Jamaican. Listen, I don't know what's going on with Nathan Allen. I see him run that 400 finals. You can tell me, because I never watched it, 48 seconds. That became 8th in 48 seconds. I don't know if did he stop, did he walk, like what's the situation. But then he came back for the 4x1. He came back for the 4x1. 4x4, I mean, I'm sorry. And you ran a good leg. But I saw that Jamaica got disqualified in that 4x4. So again, for Jamaica's 60th Independence Day, I think we did a great job. Shelly won, Elaine won. We got a bag of gold medals on that day. So it was a great day. But that's all I really have. I don't really have nothing else that is concerned.
I guess DM said that. I'm jealous. Nice t-shirt.
Come, DM, send the information to man. We have shirts for everybody, We like when our commenters get involved, Let me see. Sensational music. Yeah. Where are you, Sensational Music? Where are you?
Way down in Korea.
She said for free up our shirt.
Way down in Korea now, boss. You know what time it is there? It's probably at least about close to 1 o'clock the next day.
Yeah. When you come back stateside, Sensational, you get shirt and working on some shorts too. So you get shirt, shorts, hat, watch, everything when you come back stateside.
And Gio too as well, eh?
Huh?
And Gio.
And Gio as well. Don't forget Gio. Actually, she says now Monday.
See it in 11:54.
11:54. What the heck?
Yeah.
So they're what? 12 hours ahead. No, 13 hours ahead. Right now.
But final thoughts before we just say a good night to these lovely people.
All right, wonderful under 20 championships. Obviously, very disappointed that Jamaica didn't finish, top of the table, because USA got one more gold medal than us, but still proud of the country, still proud of what they were able to achieve. The gold medals that we got, quote unquote, surprisingly, and that's every athlete that went out there to compete and compete their heart out. It's not easy being an athlete. The work that you have to put in, you just have to trust to work on the day you just have to produce, right? Obviously, the standout performers, we thank them, and we just hope that tights, yes, man, Kish, we're going to get in some tight. We're going to get in a lot of stuff, man. Listen, after I beat Levon in that race, then we're going to get in a lot of stuff. I'm going to take over. But listen, we had a lot of great performers, and then we moved to the Commonwealth. Obviously, we saw the visual. 3 medals from the men and around 12 from the women, right? So the women track and field is, and it's not stopping because we have a lot of them in the pipeline. So I'm just really grateful to be Jamaican. I'm really grateful to be able to talk about athletics and on a great platform like this. And just thank you guys for always tuning in and commenting and giving us some information where sometimes we don't remember. Or really and truly we just don't know.
True.
So we thank you for providing that information to us as well.
Triple C is asking, where's the rest between level and Kim's having a video?
It's going to it's going to be next. It's going to be September. It's going to be September in Jamaica. And listen, all who telling me say me run 15 seconds in a 100 meter. It's going to be live. So we're going to go live on Sports Frenzy. And after I beat Levon, I want an apology from Fireheart, DM, Kish, and all the other persons who disrespected my 100-meter greatness.
Wow, with the 15-second, eh? But
hold on, somebody same flame. We talked about Tebogo already at the last show.
Yeah.
We talked about him already, but superb talent. A lot of persons say.
Big up yourself, game as always, man. Big up. I love it.
We have 2 shirts. We have 2 shirts left. We have around 50 both, man. We have 2 shirts left that we want to give away. So sending information to Levon and yeah, Alex, you want to see somebody drop?
Facts.
But sending information to Levon, and then we have 2 more shirts that we really want to give away because just want to show appreciation for you guys.
Facts, man. But this is where we're going to close it off. And as always, big up to the man behind the scenes. Big up Josh. Big up Kems, man. As I said, once I reached out to Kems now said no. Even if this man I gonna say, yo, some have homework to do, so I'm not gonna run. But big up to the man as always, man. And to you, the commenters, respect as always, man. Thanks for all the support you have given us a whole lot during this track and field season. And of course, we're going to try our best to keep on giving you track and field content because this is where most of our viewership comes from. So we're going to keep on feeding you the track and field content. So just keep on watching, keep on subscribing, and keep on sharing. And big up to our sponsors, Let's Care Medical and Let's Care Optical. Visit their 3 branches in Santa Cruz, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Big up, Kems. Respect.
Yes.
I'll just end the live by playing the ads from our sponsors. So let me just go ahead and do